Hey, the Zelda Encyclopedia just came out. You know, I'd get it, but I just got too many bills to pay right now. Well, this wasn't supposed to happen. But it happened anyway. I got the Legend of Zelda Encyclopedia, the last in the... what are these called? The Goddess Collection. The last in the Goddess Collection. This is the third installment and the final one. I don't think I can open this with shrink wrap all over it. I didn't come prepared! It smells blue. Got Ganondorf, Zelda, and Link in their appropriate Triforce locations on the cover. For comparison's sake, this is what happens when you don't prepare. This is the original entry, the Hyrule Historia. We align those bindings. That's about as big as we're getting, so quite a bit heftier. Oh boy! Nope, the Art and Artifacts book is definitely still the largest in the series. This is actually pretty heavy. I could get swole doing this. Okay, that's enough. Yeah, so you got one for each piece of the Triforce. I also have the entire series of the legendary editions of the Zelda manga, and they all fell off my shelf when I was trying to do that, so sorry. Okay, so the Hyrule Historia covered the entire history of the Legend of Zelda, complete with the Nintendo official timeline for the series. The Arts and Artifacts book handled a lot of the artwork across the series, and this serves more as its namesake, an encyclopedia of all things Legend of Zelda. So right out the gate, we have the cover of the book, nice and glossy and shiny looking. We open it up right into a map of Hyrule. Skip forward a bit, and we have a list of the games. Notably, it's missing Breath of the Wild, so from what I can tell, this does not include any Breath of the Wild in terms of timeline or history. I could be wrong. We might just discover it as we go, because there was Breath of the Wild in the Art and Artifacts book. Just a couple pieces, because the game wasn't even out at that point. Historical records. So this book has an updated Legend of Zelda timeline compared to the Hyrule Historia. So it's been a minute since the timeline has been updated. This probably will include games like A Link Between Worlds and Triforce Heroes, if those are considered to be parts of the timeline. Actually, I can see them right over here. Definitely looking forward to going back and looking through some of that stuff. And it looks like it really goes in detail, much like the Hyrule Historia did, and covering different points of Hyrule and how it came to be, the Hylians themselves. Lots of cool stuff in here. Just even an expose on Link himself and all of his various iterations. Pretty cool stuff. It's in the book. Didn't know. Some spirits, fairies. We'll skip ahead a bit. Ooh, other lands and realms. So this probably covers the Dark World, future and past in the case of like Skyward Sword. Even some enemy differences in A Link to the Past for the Light and the Dark World. So some cool stuff. Ooh, big old Majora's Mask, so a nice big chunk of time spent on Termina, one of my favorite locations in Zelda, Koholint Island from Link's Awakening, and the World of the Ocean King from, that's not Spirit Tracks, that's Phantom Hourglass. There's Spirit Tracks, with New Hyrule. So we'll spit forward a little bit again. Kokiri, Koroks, the Rito, Deku Scrubs, some different races in The Legend of Zelda. So, again, different artworks, explanations, I guess even some artifacts or pieces of their history in the case of the Fairy Slingshot and the Kokiri Shield. The ever-famous Uka with the awful, crazy-looking chicken-human designs. Ancient peoples, just lots of cool, detailed stuff. This really is an encyclopedia. Hyrule in an era of decline, so here is a map from Link to the Past, and it looks like there's some comparisons between Ocarina of Time's map and A Link to the Past, which is pretty cool, as well as Zelda 2 and Zelda 1. I'm actually really excited to go through this part, because One of the things that comes up with Zelda whenever there's a new game coming out is people always compare the old maps together and try and see how Hyrule has changed. So this will be a very cool section to look through. I'm actually really surprised at how detailed this is getting. Ooh, and here is a variety of Master Swords from the different Legend of Zelda games, starting with, of course, its original appearance in The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, Ocarina of Time, Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword. Oh, Wind Waker. That's surprising. Wind Waker. Oh, here we go. Wind Waker over here. And then obviously the evolution of the Master Sword and Skyward Sword. Definitely into that. Ooh, many shields. I love shields. So we have the Hylian shield and all of its different iterations, including the one from Majora's Mask, which I don't even really know if that's considered a Hylian shield, as much as it is like the Hero Shield. The one from A Link Between Worlds. Different mirror shields, and including the one from A Link to the Past. I've never seen the actual artwork for this shield on paper, so that's actually pretty neat. I've never seen that before. Wooden shields. I always loved keeping the wooden shields in all of my Zelda games as a memento of who I was when I started the game versus who I become at the end. The shield from Wind Waker, one of my favorites. And then, whoa, gotta stop hitting my mic. And then, of course, all of the shields from Skyward Sword, which you could, of course, upgrade and make more powerful. A bunch of armor and accessories. Holy cow, lots of accessories. Gauntlets, the power gloves, Titan's mitts, Pegasus boots, iron boots, hover boots, flippers. Lots of stuff in here. Monsters and demons. This will be a fun one to go through, including Demise himself, a character Paul and I have been asking dearly to be in Super Smash Bros., but I have a feeling that's probably never going to happen. Ooh, database, an alphabetical archive of information. There's probably going to be just a bunch of numbers and images. Yep. Holy cow, this... Look at all this. Oracle of Seasons, Majora's Mask, Oracle of Ages, Phantom Hourglass. Yeah, you can just see, look how small the font is getting now, plus all of the images and items. So if you want to look something up, this is the way to do it. I don't know if it gives you page numbers like a glossary. No, this is very much an encyclopedia in which it gives you the image and a small description of what it is. And this just goes on for pages and 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 pages. Oh my gosh, look at all this. Even enemies, look at all of this ridiculousness. Archives, informations, and notes of each game. So this is probably going to be more the developer interviewee kind of stuff. Behind the scenes, and it looks like it'll go into detail with each game in the series. Obviously starting with The Legend of Zelda. Ooh, look at this development map. Oh, this is crazy cool. So this is a draft of the map layout, originally drawn during the development of the original Legend of Zelda, including some over here. This is going to be like the real meat and potatoes of this buy. So if you want to get this book for a lot of the behind-the-scenes developer beta kind of stuff for the series, this is why you want this book, because look at that. That is a hand-drawn dungeon layout before Legend of Zelda came out. There's a character relationship chart. This is ridiculous. I was not expecting this much detail in this book. I got this for $24. This big old 300 plus page book, hardcover, $300, excuse me, $24. That's a steal as far as I'm concerned. Of course, there's also a special edition, but I did not want to get the special edition because I don't have the special edition of the first two, and I wanted my set to be complete and uniform. So here it goes into Ocarina of Time, obviously Majora's Mask. Character relationships from Majora's Mask has its own set of pages because obviously that game is central. Character development and character relationships are central to Majora's Mask and its side quests, so obviously that's going to take up a ton of information and placing on the pages. Let's see, world, more development documents, including the ever-loved Cafe Romance mini quest or side quest from Majora's Mask, my personal favorite from that game as well. So much stuff here. So it's going to go through this for pretty much all of the games, including extensive bullet point developer notes. Oh my goodness. You could sit through this book, maybe go through it 5, 6, 7 times and find something new every time you go through it, because it'll be easy to miss stuff in this packed volume. Skip forward even more. This might even be the rest of the book, is just these developer documents and design bullet points for the rest of these games. Yeah, I don't want to show too much off, not that it'd be very hard for me to show you everything. Even promotional materials, this is fantastic. So all of the advertising and promotional art that they used across the series is right here in the back of the book. I wasn't expecting this. This is pretty cool. An advertisement for the Wii Zapper gun with the Link's crossbow training. Neat stuff. And we'll try to flip to the right page. Revising expectations in The Legend of Zelda. So this is an interview with Eiji Aonuma, the producer of the Legend of Zelda series. And it looks like this actually details Breath of the Wild and the development decisions they made for that game, and why they decided to reinvent what we know Zelda is today. So, another extensive interview, something you'll probably want to go through. Got a signature and his signature thumbs up pose. It's not really signature, but you know what I mean. And then Hylia and Crest on the last page. So that was a look at the Legend of Zelda Encyclopedia, the third installment in the Goddess Collection series of history and art books for the Legend of Zelda. If you have the first two in the series, I would highly recommend that you buy this one. I got it for $24 on Amazon. Honestly, that's a steal for how much content you're getting in here, and it's hardcover with a really nice cover, for that matter. So definitely check this out. Leave a like if you like the video, and drop down in the comments below and tell me what you're looking forward to most in the Legend of Zelda Encyclopedia, as well as what you're looking forward to the most in the Breath of the Wild book coming out later this year. So I want to thank you guys for watching, but I gotta get back to looking at puppies on Amazon. There's a Super Mario Encyclopedia. You know, but I got all these bills to pay.